Alright, today I'm going to give you some tips on something that I see people doing wrong all the time, but the problem is people don't know that they're doing this wrong. I'm going to show you how to dress and grind your welds properly on sheet metal. I find a lot of people, they use these roll-lock discs and they just absolutely go to town grinding on their welds. Well, it works, but the problem is what happens is when it hits the weld, this wants to ride and grind off the edge of the weld. So you end up really digging into your panel. The proper way that I do it, and what I was taught, and I found this is way easier, is to take a 3-inch, now this is a 3M Green Corp weld grinding wheel, this is about a 1/4 inch thick, is to take and grind the top of your weld off. Once you have it almost flat with the panel, then we dress it up with this. And after that, if you want to metal finish it, then you can hit it with the orbital. So I'm going to show you how. Now I'm going to do this a little bit scientifically so that people believe me when I say this. I'm going to take a black marker and we're going to just blacken the edges of this around so that you can see what happens on each of these. This is just some scrap metal. I used this, I think, on another demonstration. So this first little one, I'm going to use the just the roll-lock disc on it. Show you and then once I've done that, I'll show you how much damage it does to the perimeter of the surface. And where the danger is in this is if you're doing, say, 22 gauge steel on like a newer Honda, then you're going to grind this so thin that you're not going to have very much left. So this is all about preserving the panel as much as you can and metal finishing. Now I'll show you what I'm using here. This is just a 90-degree die grinder. This is a 36 grit disc, which is common for doing body work with. And now you look at it, people are going to say, well, how come you're not using a new disc? Well, this is typically what you would find in the toolbox of the guy doing the sheet metal or girl. And this is what's commonly done here. Now, it might look like everything's all fine and dandy here, but already, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, I've got some streaks where I've already cut into the panel and I haven't even gotten into it yet. And see, there we go. This is sort of what I was talking about here. Now it's starting to dig on either side of the weld. Now that I've done this, you can see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera that well. If I hold this up, you can see the streaks on either side. This weld still isn't ground flat. So if you actually went and ground this flat where it's supposed to be, you could switch into 80 grit to finish it off. It'd be fine and it would hold up, but there's not really that much metal left on either side of this. Now we're going to try using our 1/4 inch grinding disc on our cutoff tool, and I'm only going to do a little bit just so that I can use this as an example. Now there's two trains of thought on this, and they're both right. One is to grind it this way, and the other one is to grind it this way. Both are kind of right. I've always preferred kind of doing a combination of the two where it's at an angle, and I'll show you how quickly this actually goes. So now I've got the tops of that knocked off a little bit. I can keep coming down. Now I can switch over to this way. see, I haven't touched any of the block at all. And we're still grinding. There's still lots of material here to take off. But even though it's a little bit slower, it's a lot more of an accurate way of doing this as well, especially if you want a panel that's metal finished. And there we go. I've hardly even touched the black. I would take a little bit more off of here. I'll throw some 80 grit on my die grinder, and I'll show you how nice and flat that weld is. So now what we're doing right now is we're just finishing it, and all we're doing really is blending the edges to out. And I'll try and keep it as small as I can. And after the 80 grit is done, typically what you would do is put 120 onto it to metal finish it, or you would take an orbital and hit it with 80 if you're doing body work on it, like adding filler. Now if we go like that, you see how little I did there just to get that flat, and that's absolutely laser flat now. And we've hardly touched any of this panel into here. You can see a little bit of a trough there, but I wasn't really grinding there. I was trying to focus more in this area right here. So I hope that helps save you from ruining or over grinding a panel one of these days. Have fun, and I'll see you guys out in the shop.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the bell. Share this video and be sure to comment below. I always try to reply back. There's a lot of great content coming up on this channel and you don't want to miss it. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram. Let's hang out in the garage.